scenario we created for them.
Okay.
Then they started brainstorming. Then everyone was going in the cycles of what was before them, which was the challenge. Cycles, and there was no headway. Guess what? I said, okay, we've heard enough about why it can be.
Mm-hmm.
So let's create a shift of, if you see the challenge as a platform for growth, as opportunity for growth,
mm-hmm.
as an awareness for growth, what will occur? Then that shift tripped like that.
Mm.
And they started seeing that in the challenge comes the innovation. In the challenge comes the growth. In the challenge comes that. But if you are not meeting such intervention, the challenge is a blockade.
Okay.
The challenge is a wall. So these are the fundamentals that I want to put forward first this morning. That you don't wake up and think the way you think. It's not by accident. Even if you decide not to think, it's a thinking process. So as where you are now, what is your narrow focus about life?
Mm.
Who are you in your world?
Mm.
Why are you here in that world of yours? Then you come to realize that you don't have these skills by accident. If you are in a job right now and you are stranded, if you are in a career path right now and you are stranded, it is not a problem. It is a challenge, a mirror, perhaps telling you something. What personal investment have you made into yourself looking at the challenge that was confronting you? Zero. So when you trigger that which isn't in the space, it gets created. Yeah. Because when you enter a room and it is dark, quantum says it's not empty. It is because you can't see what is there.
Mm.
It is when you put on the light, then you realize that there is this and that. So what you introduce to the space gives birth to that which is present.
Okay.
So a lot of us are in professions, not in our confessions, passion, and purposes.
Okay.
A lot of us are in professions, but not in our confessions, passion, and purposes.
Mm.
Whoever you claim you are, there is this chemistry. Remember, we came to meet this world.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So whatever you claim you are within this world, that world will test you. And the more the test, the finer you are supposed to get. You get refined.
Mm.
So it is very fundamental to anyone listening to us this morning who is stuck to ask very peculiar questions. Why am I here?
Mm.
What is my life about?
Okay.
What am I living for?
Mm.
Because that will trigger the innate responses. Because when you trip into the you, it becomes a flare.
Mm.
Run away from. But the quality of that evolution is where we have got a role to play.
Mm.
That is why for a woman and a man to have a kid, they need to copulate. Even though evolution is a phenomenon that we should procreate, but there is an effort the man and the woman must make.
Mm.
There's an action. And the action does not occur by accident. The action first takes place within the way we reason, we think. So if you are a young man, a young woman, and you move from junior high school, it is supposed to be that at the senior high school you begin to test your abilities. You begin to explore what you are capable of doing. Then when you get to university, it is supposed to be the space of narrowing down all that you've explored.
Mm.
So if you check it, this is all about, apart from all that you'll be taught, the part of the part of the job you got to do is what are you listening, and how does that which you are listening coordinate with who you are intrinsically, who you have been hardwired to be or to become. So when you evolve through that gradually and you miss it out of what potential you could be in the world at the university level, you are gone. And that is how come in our part of the world we are in this quagmire of I'm trying to find the right word on radio. Because when I studied how Estonia, Finland, Norway, Sweden looked at, let's say, the far bit of America, looked at Europe, which the immediate was Germany and United Kingdom, then they're able to forge what would they want to be. The finest of education, Finland has been on tops, but yet we don't know about them that much.
Finest of education?
Yes, Finland. Finest of governance, Finland, Sweden. So this is what I am sharing this morning, that when you look within and you understand, when you identify where you want to go, you put in the interventions. So the fact that I've gone to university and unfortunately I miss out on what I could have potentially even designated at least 3 things that I could be good at. If you are in a job right now and you are stranded, if you are in a career path right now and you are stranded, it is not a problem. It is a challenge, a mirror, perhaps telling you something. What personal investment have you made into yourself looking at the challenge that was confronting you? 0.